title, take the title from the Bible, we can get there. Rip the title from off in front of the Bible, God don't live there. Too many inconsistencies, too many mysteries. Picture the Pope in the Vatican laughing and drinking and singing and kissing me. I stand with God, whether I'm paid or whether I'm crying broke. I like to ask these politicians, would Jesus vote? The way we view God is a freaking shame. Churches.
Adult Life, Part 2. We resume with Part 2 of the adult life. I'm no longer a student athlete at Clarion University of Pennsylvania. Life as a college student and basketball player has come to an end. The college experience taught me about real life and how fake people are and how real things really are in real life. I'm now living in Peoria, Illinois, working some odd jobs, and I tried to work through the ranks of UPS for about a year, but to no avail. But this time around, my Uncle Jimmy was in a better stage of his life and was certain he could get me a job at one of his old and former employers in Racine, Wisconsin. So back to Racine, Wisconsin I go, and I got hired at a printing company as a shipping and receiving clerk.
Yeah, my first job in Racine, Wisconsin. The company was called Seville Flex Pack. It was about 20 minutes north of Racine. It was in a town called Oak Creek. And of course, I was the only black person in the company. It was a family-owned company, and it had about 50 or 60 employees, and it had 2 shifts. So, it went well, and it was a great opportunity.
I was becoming more politically and spiritually aware through hip-hop artists like Public Enemy, Boogie Down Productions, and Ice-T. I eventually heard the lecture of Minister Louis Farrakhan in 1991 that resonated with me and touched my soul and changed the way I looked at myself and the world around me. Now I'm living in Racine, Wisconsin. I finally got a steady job, got my own apartment, and I've lived in Racine, Wisconsin for about 2 years before moving to Milwaukee, Wisconsin after finding a better job in 1992. I met a guy named Frank Ingram at the job I worked in Milwaukee. He had a brother that was in the Nation of Islam, and he was also into the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The more I learned and studied the teachings, I knew in my soul that this doctrine, based on universal truth and principles, specifically for the redemption of the black man and woman in North America to connect to the rest of the living human family, was the real deal. It seemed like the truth I've been looking for my entire life.
The 1995 Million Man March, that was the epitome or the zenith of my life so far. To see that many people, black men specifically, all convene on the mall, and it was just totally peaceful, man. Everyone was in their God state, and it just gave me a glimpse of what heaven can be like. It was amazing, man. I want to give a shout out to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan for calling that march, man. That was incredible. Thank you.
I attended some mosque lectures and study groups to get a feel for it, but realized it wasn't an organization for me to join directly. Still undergoing a mental and spiritual metamorphosis, I wasn't evolving with my employer and had no real relationship with the woman. Between 1995 and 1998, I became more depressed with the situation of my son, and I really didn't want to settle down and buy a house in Milwaukee. I felt like I was running, evading, and avoiding life's most basic and fundamental aspects. Frank Ingram was a family man, and I was still doing me, single and just dabbling here and there. I even lived with the family for a few months to save some money and also to help them out. People started saying that I was gay. Even my own family members thought I was gay. I never kept a steady relationship with a woman, so I guess that was a logical conclusion. During this time from 1991 to 1999, I tried different business ventures. I knew working a 9-to-5 job wasn't the place to be. The business ventures I tried had failed, and I knew I no longer wanted to live in Wisconsin or work the job I currently had. The company restructured, and I went from working in a quality assurance laboratory back to the manufacturing floor with the guys that I had got promoted from. So now I'm moving backwards and didn't want to return to Peoria because it would look like I have failed. My family in Peoria thought I was rolling and doing good, so I tried to uphold that image.
Yeah, happiness, man. Putting on the facade that everything is going great when you know it's not going great. But, you always want to try to impress your family and your friends and, just make it look like you're doing great, But, yeah, those were some tough times, man. I was in a dark hole.
Now it's 1997, 1998. And I was still shunning my responsibilities. I had a label of a deadbeat dad. I was served papers from the family court at my job as they caught up with me. I lost my good position with the company as a laboratory tech. The brothers from Milwaukee had loped up because we had some differences. The brother Frank Ingram, who I was cool with the whole time, he rolled with the Milwaukee guys, his comrades, and it seemed like everywhere I went in the dominant white society that I was talked down to like a piece of black shit. So now I'm at the weakest stage of my life at this point, and if I had a gun at the time, someone would have died. But my nature is not to hurt anyone, so I tried to take my own life. So now it's 1998, and I'm in a mental institution in Peoria, Illinois, St. Francis Hospital. My perception of reality had become distorted.
Looks right, beats.